Hello guys, welcome to Rankers Hub. I am Kranthi Kumar, Geography faculty. Okay, and today let's discuss how to connect or how to interlink current affairs with the static portion. Okay, current affairs with the static portion. I will take one example and I will show how to interlink current affairs with static portion. Let's start now. Okay, let's start now. First is what? Recently Sullivan, okay, Calvin Sullivan is one lady. Okay, she was the first lady to take okay, she was the first lady to take sea dive in Challenger's Deep. Okay, sea dive into Challenger's Deep. What actually meaning of the Challenger's Deep? What actually the Challenger's Deep is very, very important. Here, the Challenger's Deep is located near Mariana Trench or Mariana Islands. It's very, very important. Always the Mariana is in the news. Okay, why? This Mariana Islands is famous for Mariana Trench. Okay, Mariana Trench. What is the speciality of the Mariana Trench here? Okay, it is the deepest trench in the world. So, deepest trench in the world. So, what actually is meaning of trench? First, we had to know. Okay, what actually meaning of trench? First, we had to know. This is what speciality of the Mariana Trench is. It is the deepest trench in the world. Okay, so let's discuss what is trench. So, this is one of the current affairs topic. Okay, so how I interlinked this current affairs topic with static portion, that is trenches. So let us take another current affairs. Okay, let us take another current affairs. I will discuss it later. Okay, let us take another current affairs that recently MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Recently MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, said that, so published a journal. According to that, by 2100th year, so all oceans in the world may become green in color. Okay, so now what is the color of the ocean? Some oceans will have color of blue. Some oceans will possess the color of green. So what is the color of green? What is the color of the oceans? And this topic we will going to interlink with static portion. Okay, this is what? Current affairs issue. So we are going to what? Interlink with the static portion. This is the second current affairs. And another current affairs I am going to take here. So another current affairs issue. What is the issue? So another current affairs issue is China. China recently constructing islands. Okay, constructing islands in South China Sea. Okay, recently constructing what? South China Sea and occupy total South China Seas. Okay, occupy total South China Sea. So Philippines filed a plea. Okay, Philippines filed a plea in International Court of Justice. International Court of Justice. This is also comes under topic of oceanography. So these three topics, that is constructing the islands, okay, and what is the consequences of constructing the islands, and what is the consequences of verdict of ICJ, and I will discuss. And after that, what is the Challenger Deep, and after that Mariana Trench, and after that MIT, and what is the color of the oceans. We are going to discuss these current affairs linking with the static. How to link, why to link, where to link. Okay, so I was telling these three current affairs. What is that? First, I discussed the Challenger Deep. Okay, later I discussed the islands which is constructed by the China. Okay, later I discussed what? MIT. Okay, MIT, that is the color of the oceans and seas. So mingling of these three topics or mixing of these three current affairs, I am going to teach now a static portion. Okay, a static portion which should starts from the basics of ocean itself. Okay, which will starts from what? Oceans, basics of the ocean. Like this you have to learn, especially for point of view, examination point of view of UPSC. Okay, now I will link by linking these three current affairs. Now I will discuss the static portion of oceanography. First we have to know what is ocean. What is ocean? What is ocean? It is a large water body on earth. Large water body on earth. Then next arises how oceans is created. Okay, then here what is the difference between oceans and lakes? Okay, what is the difference between oceans and lakes, and what is the difference between oceans and rivers? So one of the best difference we can compare oceans and the rivers here is rivers will have what? Fresh water, whereas the oceans will have salt water. That is what? Salt water, that is brackish water we can say. And the next is rivers. Rivers were small compared to oceans. Oceans are larger bodies. Oceans are what? Larger bodies. Okay. The next we are going to move to what? How oceans is created. Formation of oceans is very, very important. Formation of oceans. Okay, if we know formation of oceans, we easily study trenches. Okay, if we know trenches, we can cover that Mariana Trench, Challenger Deep automatically. Okay, so formation of oceans, how oceans are formed. So in order to know this, first we had to know the basic, we had to learn the basic concept behind the formation of ocean. What is the basic concept behind the formation of oceans here? What is the basic concept here is plate tectonic theory. It's very, very important again. Plate tectonic theory. So let us think. Already we know that Earth have what? How many layers? 3 layers. What are that? What are they? Crust, mantle or mantle, and next core. What is the radius of the Earth? Okay, what is the radius of the Earth here? 6,400 kilometers. Okay, 6,400 kilometers is what? The radius of the Earth. Okay, here the upper layer is called crust, and below the crust was called mantle. Below the mantle, the layer is called core. Okay, core. Here crust. Just a stick. I will draw a line diagram here. So please concentrate here. Crust, mantle, the next core. Here the layer between the crust and mantle, a thin layer is located. The layer between the crust and mantle were called asthenosphere. Asthenosphere is very, very, very important. This asthenosphere is famous for what? It will consist of molten lava. Okay, it consists of what? Molten lava, semi-molten lava we can say. Semi-molten lava or liquid. We can't say lava here. Okay, if this liquid comes surface of the earth, we can say that lava. Okay, if the liquid comes to the surface, we can say that it is lava. So molten, semi-molten liquid is situated or located in asthenosphere. It always wants to come outside. It always wants to come outside. Suddenly, in some places, what will happen? It comes out through a vent or through a hole. It is called volcanoes. It is called what? Volcanoes. It erupts lava and magma. So, sir, what is the relationship between the oceans and volcanoes? Now I will discuss. Okay, what will happen? Just think, this is a layer of the earth. So here the volcanoes will erupt here like this. So due to this volcanic eruption, an enormous energy will release. Okay, this volcano erupts an enormous energy, and due to this enormous energy, what will happen? The plate, it is also called what? Plate. Plate means what? Crust. Crust is also called what? Plate. Plate 1, just think, this is a plate 2. Okay, plate 2. So this plates starts moving away from each other. That is, the plates starts moving away from volcano. Like this plate 1 moves like this in this direction. Plate 2 moves in this direction. Moves in this direction. Okay, starts moving in this direction due to enormous energy, will be enormous energy creating by volcanism. Okay, volcanism or volcano. Okay, the next is, so what will happen? What will happen in some millions of years, some after millions of years, these volcanoes will get extinct. Okay, these volcanoes will get extinct. So a gap will be formed. A gap will be forms after millions of years. In these gaps, if the rain falls, what will happen? The water will stores here. If rain comes, water will stores here. Okay, water will stores here. If this size is, if the gap size is, okay, if the gap size is less or small, it is called sea. If the gap size is very, very high, it is called what? Ocean. Getting? It is called what? Ocean. This is what create a form. This is the this is concept behind the creation of ocean. Okay, this is how oceans will create. Okay, so next, this is one theory, and another theory I am going to explain here, so thereby you can understand trenches. Second theory, okay, second theory or the second concept behind the formation of oceans. Okay, I am going to explain. Already I explained here the divergent plate tectonic theory. Divergent plate tectonic theory. Here the two plates moves away from each other. Here the two plates moves away from each other and a gap will forms in between them. Okay, in between the two plates. Okay, that gap if filled with the water, then we are calling it as oceans. So another theory here or another concept. What is the concept? Here the two plates moves each other, that moves towards each other. Okay, the two plates moves towards each other here. And what will happen after a millions of years? After a millions of years, these two will collide. These two plates will collide each other like this. Getting? So these two plates will collide each other like this. I am showing with my hands. That is, okay, like this. It will. What will happen? It will collide each other like this. So always what will happen here is, so always a denser plate starts penetrating into the lower. This is a lower denser. It is what? Higher denser. Okay, higher denser plate, lower denser plate starts moving like this always. Okay, always, and it will forms here a V-like structure. Here, how it is? A V-like structure will forms, that is called trench. That is what called trench. Here, the V-like structure, the ocean deep will be very high. Okay, ocean deep will be very high. Okay, that is. So I will show here with a diagram. So this is called trench. So V-like structure. How it is looking? V-like structure. Okay, this is called what? Trench. So what are the trenches? These are the deepest parts in ocean. These are what? Deepest parts in oceans. Okay. So which is the deepest trench in the world? Mariana Trench. Very, 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 very important for all examinations. Pakka aayega ye to. Why? Because it is already in news. Okay, Sullivan. Okay, already it is in a current affairs issue. So pakka aayega ye to. That is what? Mariana Trench. Okay, nearby this trench, already we discussed it in current affairs. That is called what? Challenger Deep. Challenger Deep takes place. Means what? Moving into the Mariana Trench. It is called what? Challenger Deep. Okay, she was the first lady to do this Challenger Deep. Where is the Mariana Trench located? In Pacific Ocean, in middle of the Pacific Ocean. Is very, very, very important. So here, I think you got you got one idea that how to link a current affair with the static portion. Okay, this is what a deep learning. This is called what? A deep learning. So what? Interlinking the current affairs with the static portion. Okay, this is how we had to interlink current affairs with the static portion. It's very important for UPSC point of view, especially CDS. Okay, CDS and CAPF examinations. Okay, so this is what. And the next topic. So next is how many oceans are present in the world. Okay, how many oceans are present in world? First, we already know that Pacific Ocean. First, Pacific Ocean, and the second is Atlantic Ocean. Third, Indian Ocean. And the fourth is what? Southern Ocean. Okay. Okay. Fourth is what? Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. And what? Arctic Ocean. These are what? 5 oceans in the world. Which is the deepest ocean in the world? Pacific Ocean. Okay, which is the deepest ocean in the world is Pacific Ocean. Is very important for examinations point of view. Okay, so next is, so these are what? 5 oceans. Before these 5 oceans, there is only a one water body, or there is only a one ocean is present in the world, that is called Panthalassa. Okay, these Panthalassa are demarcated and divided into 5 oceans were called Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. And one of the important thing here is the Pacific Ocean's trench is very high. So that what happening here is its gap is decreasing. Its gap is decreasing. So according to divergent plate tectonic theory, so its gap is decreasing. So but here the Atlantic Ocean, the gap is increasing. Here the gap is increasing. That's why in future, after millions of years, what will happen? The Atlantic Ocean will become largest ocean in the world. Atlantic Ocean will become largest ocean in the world. This is a very complex, okay, complex theory here. Okay, so we had to link this this trench and the gap with the divergent plate tectonic theory. Okay, then only you can understand this. Okay, so there what is happening? The gap is not increasing in the case of Pacific Ocean. Okay, in the case of Pacific Ocean, the gap is not increasing. That is, plates movement is not increasing. But here the Atlantic Ocean, the plates movement is increasing. That is what? Divergent plate tectonic theory was very active in here in Atlantic Ocean. It is inactive in Pacific Ocean. That's why, so in millions of years, okay, Atlantic Ocean is going to become, after millions of years, Atlantic Ocean is going to become a largest ocean in the world. Atlantic Ocean is going to become a largest ocean in the world. So next, what is the salinity? Very important. Next topic is salinity. So we already know that. What is the salty? Salty means what? We had to take one standard. How you will say the water is salty or water is sweet. Okay, with the help of our tongue, that is taste, by watching what? Taste. Okay, so of course we will have lesser salinity also. So high salinity also. So salinity of the ocean standard was taken from Atlantic Ocean salinity. So Atlantic Ocean salinity is taken as standard form of salinity for all salinity of the water. Okay, what is the salinity of the Atlantic Ocean here is 35 ppm. So that's why it is taken as a reference. That's why for every water, if the water salinity ppt less than 35, it is called fresh water. If it is greater than 35 ppt, it is called saline water. Saline water. So important here is Atlantic Ocean salinity is taken as standard form of salinity for all. Is very important. Okay, the next is this. Out of all salts, okay, out of all salts like NaCl, MgSO4, etc. Okay, out of all salts, that is NaCl, MgSO4, the NaCl is highest or the largest salt component in ocean or seas. NaCl is the highest or the largest salt component in oceans or seas. After that, SO4. Okay, after that, SO4. Okay, SO4 is very, very important. And the next here it is a very important question for all examinations. Okay, and the next here, take a earth here. I am drawing earth here. So this is what already we know, that equator. So this is Tropic of Cancer, 23 and a half north. The next 23 and a half south, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. In examinations he will ask like that. Okay, on which latitude the salinity will be high? On which latitude the salinity is high? So A, Tropic of Cancer, B, Tropic of Capricorn, C, Equator, D, Arctic and Antarctic. This is how the questions will ask in examination. This is how the questions will ask in examination. That is what? On which latitude the salinity of ocean is high? Okay, the salinity of the ocean is high. First is Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and this is like this. So here answer is along the 23 half. It may be north or the south. On this latitude the salinity will be very high. So all people or all aspirants will think that the answer will be equator. Why? At equator the temperature is very, very high. So temperature high means what? Evaporation is also very high. If the evaporation will be high, what will happen? The salt component in water will be increases. If the salt component in the water will increases, what will happen? The salinity will be high. This is what perception of all aspirants, and they will mark the equator answer. So but here it is not correct answer, but the correct answer is 23.5 degrees. Why? So why? Here, yes, it's correct. At the equator the temperature is high. Yes, due to the high temperature the evaporation is also high. Yes, due to the high evaporation, in the less quantity of water, high salts will be there, so that salinity will increase. But what will happen here? At night times the rain will falls. Total night, 24 hours the rain will get near equator. So what will happen? Again the fresh water will mixes with ocean, thereby the salinity will be balanced. But whereas coming to the 23.5 north, that is Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, here the temperature is high, but the rainfall is less compared to the equator. So temperature is high means what? Evaporation is also high. Evaporation means high means what? In less water the high salts will be present. But rain is less. So that here the salinity of the oceans near Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn will be always higher than the salinity of the ocean waters near equator. Is very, very, very important. Yeah, very, very important. CDS examination, civil services examination, this is very, very, very important concept. Okay, like these questions will ask in CDS, CAPF, civil service examinations. Okay, so very, very important, that is salinity. Okay, the next is temperature. Okay, the next is what? Temperature and sunlight here. So already I discussed what is the color of ocean. Color of ocean at the equator. Okay, color of ocean at the equator is green in color, whereas the color at the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 north and the 23 of south, is blue in color. Why these colors are changing? Okay, why these colors are changing is very, very important. First point is the oceans observes light from sunlight. It consists of how many? VIBGYOR colors. Okay, VIBGYOR colors. subsidiary colors. Out of this oceans what? Absorbs blue. Okay, out of this oceans will absorb blue. This is one theory. And another theory is it reflects the sky. Getting? It reflects the sky. So that's why the oceans will appear as what? Blue in color. Whereas some oceans will look like green. Why? It is very, very important. So why means here at the equator, let us take one example here. That is equator. At the equator, all oceans will appear like green in color. Okay, why? So equator means what? High amount of rainfall will occur. At equator, high amount of rainfall will occur. Already we know that high amount of rainfall, okay, occurs. Due to this high amount of rainfall, the biodiversity will be very high. If you take Amazon example, Amazon forest is located in Brazil. It is on the equatorial, it is located on the equatorial belt. Okay, Amazon forest is very famous for biodiversity with a thick forest and what? Widely diverse animals and plants. So like that, what will happen? Due to heavy or high amount of the water, high biodiversity will be there. And the same like biodiversity will be appear in the oceans. Like the Amazon forest on the land, the same like biodiversity will appears on oceans which is located near equator. So that that animals and the plants which floats on the oceans, okay, were called phytoplanktons. Okay, here on the land we say that forest. On water we will call it as what? Phytoplanktons. Zooplankton, this is the animals. Okay, phytoplanktons, green planktons, kelp forest, sea grasses will be there. Sea grasses, this is what we can say that this is a forest of the ocean. So high amount of phytoplanktons will be available at the equator. This phyto means what? Plants. Plant. Zoo means what? Animal. So plant in which color it will appear? Already we know that the plants will be color in green. Why? Because the chlorophyll pigment will be present in plants to do photosynthesis. So that this appears in which color? Green. So that's why near equator the beaches, not only beaches, the ocean will appear like green in color due to biodiversity. Especially phytoplanktons. Whereas if you take the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, the phytoplanktons will be less in number, so that it will appear like blue in color. Here the sky reflection will dominate. Okay, sky reflection is dominant. This is what the reason the blue in color here in Tropic of Cancer and the green in color near equator. Green in color in equator is very, very, very important. And the next is temperature concept. After this temperature concept, we will move to very important, that is China. That is what? EZ and all. Okay, what is temperature? Temperature of the oceans is very, very, very important concept. This is also okay. So here northern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere. This is what Earth. This is a northern hemisphere. Of course, this is a southern hemisphere. Okay, northern hemisphere, and this is southern hemisphere. So if you take the world map, in the northern hemisphere, we will have what? Large amount of land mass, and the less water bodies. Where? In northern hemisphere. Whereas in southern hemisphere, less land and the more water bodies will appear or present. Here, what? Large water bodies, less land mass, whereas here large land mass, less water will be present. So if there is a large land bodies will be there, so what will happen? Due to this land, always what? It will reflects the temperature. Okay, in night times it will reflect what? Temperature, that is a sunlight. Due to this reflection of the sunlight, what will happen? The temperature increases. Due to the temperature increasing, the water bodies which is located in the northern hemisphere will have high temperature. Whereas the southern hemisphere, due to less large land body, so high water body, the reflection of the sunlight will be less, so that the temperature of the water bodies is less come in southern hemisphere. Is very, very, very important concept. Okay, damn sure it will get in UPSC examinations, direct questions. Okay, so why in northern hemisphere the water body's temperature is high? So due to presence of large amount of land. Okay, here less amount of land and the large amount of water bodies is present. That's why here the temperature is very, very less. If the temperature is less, evaporation will less. Okay, so evaporation is less. So what will happen? The salinity of the oceans will decreases. Okay, salinity of the oceans is decreases. This is how I am linking. Okay, temperature say evaporation, evaporation say salinity. This is how to link static portion. Okay, this is how to link static portion. Whereas here the temperature is very high, though evaporation is very high, so that the salinity will high. Okay, salinity will be very, very high. Okay, is very, very, very important. This is what the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere temperatures, and linking what this another thing, that is what current affairs issue, that is China building what islands. This is also called 9 dash lines. Very, very, very important. 9 dash lines, which is located in South China Sea. Direct question in all examinations. They will ask that in which sea the 9 dash line will be located. South China Sea, East China Sea, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. These are the options he will give. In that, the 9 dash line is located in South China Sea. So this is next. Understand the 9 line dash dispute between China and the Philippines. Okay, so China and Philippines, we had to understand this diagram. Okay, first we had to understand this diagram. For every country will have coastal line. So coastal line, according to the International Seabed Authority, and UN clause, according to UN clause and International Seabed Authority, every country will have has to follow some norms regarding their coastal lines and the coastal waters. What are the norms? First, territorial water, and the second is contiguous zone, third is EEZ. What are these three? Okay, what are these three, and how the China is misusing this treaty? Okay, so first, territorial waters. Here the territorial waters, first from beaches, that is what, from land to how many kilometers it will cover? 12 miles. Up to 12 miles it is called territorial waters. What actually meaning of territorial water means? This total water belongs to a certain country. Example, India. Take a Indian coastal line. So this total water body belongs to India itself. This is called Indian water. Okay, it is also treated as what? Country itself. It is also part of the country. Okay, this is also treated as country. So this is called territorial water. So total rights up to 12 miles will be in the hands of particular country. That is example India. Okay, and the next is after contiguous zone, 24 miles. Okay, contiguous zone, 24 miles. Here, 24 miles here. So this is a zone where checking will take up. Okay, checking, like it may be any exports or imports checking, drugs illegal checkings and all, okay, will be taken place in which zone? That is called contiguous zone. Okay, contiguous zone according to the norms of International Seabed Authority. And after this, very, very important is EEZ, economic exclusive zone. Economic exclusive zone. Up to 200 miles. Here, under this economic exclusive zone, the country will have right to exploit any mining. Okay, right to exploit any metals, oil and all. Okay, that country have right to exploit what? Any exploit like oil and what? metals and all. Okay, this is how the waters was divided as a demarcated by International Seabed Authority and UN clause. Okay, so what China is misused, how the China is misused. So China, so according to this theory, every country will have exclusive rights up to 200 miles itself. Okay, so China started building or constructing islands in South China Sea. So it will construct one island in South China Sea. So it will claim that the island belongs to China. So from island up to 200 miles, just think this is a island. From island up to 200 miles belongs to China. So I can exploit anything, oil, mining and all, fishing and all. So like that, it constructed many like around 9 islands it constructed. So due to these 9 islands, what happened there is, so total South China Sea became China's water, China's territorial water. Okay, China's territorial water. So due to this, what happened? The Philippines filed a plea in ICJ, International Court of Justice, so that the International Court of Justice is 9 islands, that is 9 dash islands are illegal. Okay, you are violating the norms, okay, by creating a artificial islands. So this is what in the news. Okay, it's very important for examination. That is contiguous zone, EEZ zone, and the next is territorial water. This is how we can interlink the current affairs with static portion. Okay, so very important. I hope that you got an idea that how to link a current affairs with the static portion and making a notes. Okay, making a notes. Okay.